FBI Director Christopher Wray warning that Russia is interfering in the upcoming presidential election. Those comments coming in sharp contrast with what we've heard from President Trump, who continues to downplay Russia as a threat. Here is Wray under oath before Congress.
We certainly have seen very active efforts by the Russians to influence our election in 2020 through what I would call more the malign foreign influence side of things. Social media, use of proxies, state media, online journals, et cetera, in effort to both sow divisiveness and discord. And I think the intelligence community has assessed this publicly, primarily to denigrate Vice President Biden and what the Russians see as kind of an anti-Russian establishment.
President Trump was quick to push back, taking to Twitter to say China poses a greater threat to election security than Russia does, which is a claim that is being echoed by other Trump administration officials, though it is not based in fact, according to U.S. intel assessments. I'm joined now by former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and you are, Andrew, the author of The Threat: How the FBI Protects America in the Age of Terror and Trump. So let's break this down. What do you make of Wray's assessment and also the president's reaction to it?
Well, I think both are pretty to be expected. You know, you have to look at it this way, Brianna. The director is in a very tough spot. The job of the director of the FBI is to follow the facts and represent them truthfully. The president, on the other hand, makes up his own facts and frequently doesn't tell the truth. So he is going to be on a collision course with the president if he continues to do his job. Director Wray also knows that he has 37,000 FBI employees who watch him very closely and listen to everything he says. And when they get the sense that he is, becoming political to please the president rather than representing the facts as they know them, he runs the risk of losing the confidence of that workforce. And I think Director Wray is too smart for that, and he's not going to let that happen, which means that he's probably going to be in conflict with this president.
I mentioned the Trump administration officials have been downplaying that threat of Russia interference. You've got Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, for instance, as well as Attorney General Bill Barr, who told Wolf Blitzer this earlier in the month.
Because the intelligence community says Russia, China, and Iran are seeking to interfere in the U.S. presidential election for various reasons, but mostly they want to sow dissent in our country, exacerbate racial tensions, et cetera, like that. Of those three countries that the intelligence community has pointed to, Russia, China, and Iran, which is the most assertive, the most aggressive in this area?
I believe it's China.
Which one?
China.
China more than Russia right now?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because I've seen the intelligence. That's what I've concluded.
What are they trying to do?
Well, I'm not going to discuss that to this.
But they're trying to help who win?
I'm not going to get into that.
More aggressive than Russia?
Yes.
Because the U.S. intelligence community...
Trying to influence the United States? Yes.
There are certainly some things he could have said to back up his claim, but he didn't, because Russia is considerably more active when it comes to interference. I mean, we're hearing that right on the Hill from officials. So why are officials like Bill Barr so focused on China, Andrew?
Well, I think it's clear. The president and his men don't like the narrative that Russia is doing in 2020 the same thing that they did in 2016, which was to interfere in our democracy, to sow chaos, to hurt the opposing candidate, then Hillary Clinton, now Joseph Biden, and to ultimately help President Trump. That is not a storyline that this president likes to hear. So his political supporters and his attorney general are just simply going out and laying down the same false narrative that the president prefers. I would ask your viewers to listen to the intelligence professionals. They have been very clear on this. There's no nation on earth that has ever attacked us in the same way that Russia has in terms of an active operation to undermine our democracy. And I haven't heard anything about the Chinese or the Iranians or the North Koreans doing that in 2020.
And like you said, when you have administration officials like Christopher Wray who aren't going to say this kind of stuff that isn't true, they are going to be in conflict with the president. Do you think that the president may try to replace Wray?
You know, I think you have to consider that a possibility with this president and any official who stands up and confronts him or makes plain a truth that the president finds inconvenient. That is a risk of working in this administration and following the truth. I mean, realistically, there's not a lot of time between now and the election, so it would surprise me if he did something like that between now and the election. But I can't overemphasize the fact that in 2016, the Russians did 3 things to us: in sowing chaos, hurting Hillary Clinton, and helping Donald Trump. So far, according to the director and other intelligence officials, they've done the first 2 already: misinformation campaigns and an effort to undermine candidate Biden. We should all be very concerned about what happens over the next few weeks from Russia.
Andrew McCabe, former FBI deputy director, thank you so much.